Thank you guys. I'm going to read this straight from the script because my memory is so bad. I won't take much more of your time, but I think it's important to talk a little bit about the reason why we're here tonight. As you heard earlier from Sue, 58,000 people live, or maybe exist, would probably be a better description, with acquired brain injury every day in WA. That's 58,000. I'm one of those people. I might not look like it, but I am. 2 years ago, I decided to get a lift back from the pub to a house I was staying at about 500 metres around the corner in Ledge Point. Unfortunately, the driver was drunk, and as he went around the corner, both me and another guy fell off the back, and we kind of landed headfirst onto tarmac. So that was in August 2011. There's a lot of stupidity behind the decision to do that, but I'm going to get some audience participation here just now, because you're all being very quiet. Who has stood or ridden on the back of a ute here in Australia? Shout out, yay! Yay! No, shout out, yay, we're all idiots. Thanks. So I'm not the only one. It obviously had a big impact. I did fall off headfirst onto tarmac. And some of the people who saved my life are here tonight. These include my good friends, Darb, do you know who you are, who are on the roadside giving me first aid. Those paramedics who are lifting me out to Ledge Point, the emergency doctors at Royal Perth Hospital got me up to the theatre, and they did that in less than 4 hours. That's a doctor joke. Also, the neurosurgeons who evacuated the huge blood clot inside my brain and later rebuilt about a third of my skull with titanium. Apparently, it's one of the biggest that RPH have done in a while. And yeah, I'll show you later. And of course, all the nurses, physios, and occupational therapists who helped to rebuild me and my memory. To be honest, I wasn't really aware of what happened. I spent the first 2 weeks after coming out of a coma, packing my bags every morning. I think my lines was, "Eve, pack my shit up and let's get the hell out of here. Why am I here?" I think I said that every morning. And she obviously had to put up with that, which was quite traumatic for her when I'm just a few days out of a coma. So trying to, I guess, dealing with the wind is hard, but also the hardest bit is, for me, is just the memory loss, the disinhibition, the constant battle to assert myself because I think I'm fine when clearly I'm not. Trying to rebuild myself and rebuild the relationships around you that have been pushed to the edge and quite often irretrievably beyond. I don't think I'm at that stage yet, but I'm doing my best. The burden of my brain injury really fell on my family and friends, and a lot of you are here tonight, and affected them far more than me. And obviously, some of these impacts that I've gone through is really why Headwest are out there to support people that haven't been as lucky as me, and I'm probably, like I've said to many people, maybe the 0.5% chance of being standing here tonight organising an event like tonight. So it's everybody else is in a far, 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 far worse situation. So Headwest acts as an advocacy service, getting them support both physically, psychologically, financially to help them get an existing living again. And it's really emotional when you do see some of the, from an impact of an injury that's happened from just a tiny mistake or a decision, and they might not be to blame, but they might end up in a wheelchair, unable to speak, unable to do anything for the rest of their lives. And it's pretty emotional to see what these people have to go through, and not just them, but their parents. I've met parents who are having to look after their 17-year-old boy for the rest of their lives, and it's actually really difficult to see what the parents are having to go through, because they're just like, oh my God, this is us for the rest of our life, let alone what the kid has to go through. So these people can range from the 50-year-old mum who has just got her life back after shipping her kids off to university, and she might suffer a devastating stroke, or the 70-year-old lad who's passed his driving test and has the world at his feet. So traumatic brain injury is a disease of the young. It's not something you can chop out or treat with drugs, and it's really something you die from. It's something you and your family have to live with forever. With that in mind, we are going to move on to an auction. I'm not trying to move on to an auction on such a cheery note, but I do want, one of the items here is the Michael Schumacher race glove, which has been regarded as a slightly contentious item to go for. But we did secure this prize prior to his accident, and we had a dilemma whether it was appropriate to include it, but I hope you agree at this time that Michael and his family would probably want something like Headwest, or all the support we're giving for Headwest and acquired brain injury, to be going for something that's actually, for him to sign a glove and to be in the position he is now, that something useful and something great can happen out of it. So, unlike the rest of the items in the auction, where the proceeds will go entirely to charity, this one is on a reserve, so we do need to kind of get a minimum bid to get some good cash out of it. It is an amazing prize, and we do have a pile of amazing prizes there. What we're going to do now, before these silent bid auctions over here, there's about 15 of them, really generously given by everybody. They're going to be there for another half hour or so, and then we'll kind of close the bids on them.